Yo, what's up? What's up? What's up? This your boy Coach Jay with the play. We live in the building. This is Boss Talk TV, Boss Talk Nation, the #1 platform for entertainers, entrepreneurs, and everything else in between. Tonight we're gonna break down the #1 interview of the year. Fat Joe saying it's the #1 interview of the decade. Kanye West on Drink Champs. Big shout to Nori. Big shout to DJ EFN. It's going down. I got my man Will Dynamite in the building. We're gonna break down all the gems you might have missed with all the other stuff. And we're going to ask the question, man, who's trying to kill Kanye? I don't know. We're going to get to the bottom of it, though. So don't go nowhere. Stay right here. Share this link. Make sure you know what's going on. Boss Talk Nation, we in the building. Let's go. What up, what up, what up? We in the building. It's your boy Coach Jay with the play each and every day with the hottest information. We just gonna put it like that. So I had to go get my homie, man, my man from the Midwest, the millionaire maker, Mr. Willie Dynamite. What's good with you, bro?
Man, you got it. What's popping? Boss Talk Nation. We out here. You know what
We
it
out
is.
there, man. It's up, man. You've been doing your thing out there. You know what I mean? Traveling the globe, getting all the stock picks, man. But first, before we get to all of that, we're gonna have to break down this Kanye interview, man. So first, what did you think about it?
I loved it. For anybody that knows me, I've been a Kanye fan since day one. I don't really do all that arguing and back and forth online, but if you got something to say about Kanye, I got time today.
Definitely.
I'm just gonna be honest. Like I'm probably like I know a lot of people gonna judge me off this interview, but I'm probably this close from going to get a Kanye West tattoo. A picture of Kanye West's face, like somewhere right here on my arms. I don't know. I love everything he stands for. I love everything he do. I like the just the foundation that he created. Like I'm probably Kanye's #1 fan.
Yo, that's ill, man. I definitely been following Kanye for years. I got a chance to meet him way back in the day when he was like right after the Blueprint, kind of, you know what I'm saying, before he became the Ye that we know now. But he's definitely a good brother, you know, sit there, chop it up with you, give you a few jewels. And he always was humble. You know what I mean? Even though we know he got his public persona, the people who really know him and rock with him definitely feel like, you know, he's a good dude. And I'm going to say definitely I've been a fan. And also I'm a Gemini. So, you know, when he kept dropping them Gemini gems, I had to salute because, you know, I would put him in this category. He's multi-talented. And I think it's an example of the gift and the curse of what happens when your ideas actually work. You feel what I'm saying? Like he came in the game as a producer, but always showed that he wanted to rap. But he was willing to start in the trenches. You know what I mean? Getting his beats, getting his placements, and it was brilliant. And then he blossomed into a super platinum artist, one of the biggest names in music. And then he went to pursue all his fashion endeavors and everything that he wanted to do. So, you know, to start off the interview, you know, he came in and he just discussed, you know, some things that were on his mind. But what did you think about like the questions and how, you know, how the interview flowed from early on?
I think Drink Champs, big shout out to Nori and DJ Effin over there at Drink Champs. They're doing a phenomenal job. So their interviews are always top tier interviews. You know what I'm saying? And I think that Nori asks Kanye all the right questions. And I think that Kanye being in the position that he's in, he answered them truthfully.
Right.
Because, you know, I don't think that Kanye has to worry about ever being canceled because they said that he was canceled after he went to the White House with Trump. Oh, don't nobody buy them ugly shoes anyway. The Yeezy brand ain't gonna go nowhere. Fast forward, the Yeezy brand is worth over $4 billion, and Kanye West own 100% of it.
Exactly.
You know, so I think that they did a really, really good job with the interview overall, especially. I love it. What you think about it?
I definitely think they did a great job. I think it shows their relationship with Kanye. It wasn't just some like an industry interview, or even I would say big shout to Charlamagne and Envy and them with the Breakfast Club. But that's more of an interview where you're not going to get as deep. First of all, you're not going to sit up there for 2.5, 3.5 hours. And you could tell they had a real relationship. So they were
Right.
able to sit down. You know, he was able to get Kanye comfortable and make him feel comfortable and give him the floor. He wasn't trying to direct the questions one way or the other, or don't say this, don't say that. I wanted to start off talking about the brand, as you just mentioned. You know, Kanye, you know, building the Yeezy brand and everything that has come from that. So, you know, we always have a financial, you know, aspect to what we talk about. So for
Right.
people who may not understand how just, you know, valuable what he stands for is, you know, let the people know.
So basically, Kanye is there. There is no other Kanye. Kanye is overall the best person in the entertainment industry, because you got to look at certain things. If you say who's the best, okay, who's the best rapper slash businessman? Everybody goes to Jay-Z. That's a default.
Right.
You go to Jay-Z, but ask yourself this: Jay-Z just now hit the billionaires list, and I'm a huge Jay-Z fan too, by the way.
Right.
Love Jay. Jay-Z just hit the $1 billion. He just hit the $1 billion mark. And Forbes have been selling Kanye West short for like the last 4 years.
Right.
Forbes has been selling him short because they came out last year and they said Kanye was worth. They said he was worth like $1 billion, or he was right up under $1 billion. They didn't call Kanye West a billionaire. Well, if you can, they can Google this too, by the way. If you Google the Yeezy brand is valued over $4 billion.
Right.
So if the Yeezy brand is valued over $4 million and Kanye West owns 100% of it, how can Kanye not be at least a billionaire?
Right.
That doesn't make any sense. So then you want to break down the difference streams of income, because I know a lot of people that may be watching this just thinking like, yeah, Kanye's a cool artist, but I would listen to somebody else. But you got to understand that Kanye West is an artist. You got early graduation, late registration. You got my dark twisted fantasy. You got the life of Pablo. You have Donda, and then you have Blueprint 1. You have Blueprint 2. You got royalties that's coming from Mos Def, royalties coming from Common, royalties coming from Cameron, that whole Dipset era. And then you got good music. You got good music, which is Big Sean. Big Sean about to get off there, though. You got Big Sean. You got 2 Chainz.
Right.
You have Kid Cudi.
Right.
You have Pusha T.
Right.
You had Tiana Taylor, which I think that she just got off of good music. So then you have all of those artists on his brand. And then he has over 6,000 acres in Wyoming.
Crazy. He said 12,000.
Real estate.
He said 12,000.
You give me another person in the entertainment industry. I'm not even gonna limit it to rappers that has the type of real estate that Kanye West has. The closest person is probably Rick Ross. Rick Ross got I want to say like 315 acres in Florida. You know what I'm saying? He got a mansion with like 100 rooms. Big shout out to Rick Ross, huge Rick Ross fan. But when we talk about land ownership, there's nobody doing what Kanye West is doing, no matter what you feel about it. And then if you look at it, Kanye West said if he did a versus, you had to bring in like 3 or 4 people to battle him.
Right. And he's not far off, because as a producer alone, his sound, he changed the sound. He changed the way, a whole generation of people. He was like, to me, it's Tribe Called Quest 2.0. He took it to like the style of being like, everybody don't have to be a thug and a gangster. He made it cool to dress with the polos, to show different types of style. And then he was able to not only just be the average rapper that's just name dropping brands. He created a brand, which at first, I'm going to keep it funky. When you saw the first Yeezy fashion show with them oversized clothes with the rips all in them, you're like, yo, what is this, right? You know what I'm saying? But he was on that Japanese wave. He was on them. He had been around the world and saw that, hey, this is what's coming next, because they already rocking this in Asia. So I need to drop this and make it trendy. And then next thing you know, everybody got the jeans with the rips, the shirts with the rip. Cats putting their own. They taking the old shirts from the back of the closet, you feel me, and rocking them, trying to front like it's some Yeezy. And then the shoe. What people don't understand is I remember him doing a concert, and he was like, Yeezy just jumped over the Jumpman. And I think people need to understand it. But go ahead, break that down.
Okay, so like I got all the facts. Because I don't got all the facts. I got a lot of the facts.
That's what we need. That's what we need.
Kanye West came out with The Life of Pablo.
Mm-hmm.
This song is actually called Facts.
Right.
The actual song you're talking about is called Facts. He said Yeezy just jumped over Jumpman. Now, if you go back into that time period, Drake had just got that deal with Jordan. Had the OVO Jumpmans. Big shout out to Drake. Right. I liked them. They was cold. But when Kanye West said Yeezy just jumped over Jumpman, everybody was like, there's no way. Like, why does he think that the Yeezy is over the Jumpman? That doesn't make any sense.
Right.
Well, if you put that into perspective, I can give you a few different ways of why that is true.
Right.
Hey, Drake has a Jumpman shoe. He gets a piece. He gets a piece of that.
Right.
Kanye West owns 100% of the Yeezy. You got to understand, the Yeezy with Adidas, that's a partnership.
Right.
Adidas don't own Yeezy.
Right.
And Adidas is a publicly traded company. You can actually invest into Adidas.
Right.
It's a publicly traded company.
Right.
So Yeezy and Adidas is a partnership. So Kanye West cut is way bigger than Drake cut.
Right.
I don't care how, because Drake is probably arguably the most popular person, in the industry right now.
Right. Yeah.
But it doesn't matter how popular you are if you selling millions and getting pennies.
Right. Now that's key because I want to break that down. That's ownership versus perception. Now, even though Drake uses his popularity as currency, as social currency to leverage all these deals, he's got the big castle up there in Canada. But right. What you're saying is key, and I think a lot of people that's going to see this after we air this, that need to see, just for the sake of Kanye having ownership of his brand and then being able to pump it through the same megaphone, the same machine that Drake has, allowed him to just pass a whole lot of people. And what I'll relate it to is Jay-Z. Because Jay-Z, Dame, and Biggs, and we'll get to that in a second, how that influenced Kanye, where he's like a monster. He's the mixture. He even said that he's the mixture of both of them. Because Jay-Z was a partner, as you just said, right? They were splitting it three ways. Right. Any rapper that came out could never compete with Jay because he's getting half or whatever the budget is up front. He's making all the raps. He got Just Blaze and them he doing everything in house, and he's Jay-Z. So he's not gonna have to pay so and so for a feature, and so they want to be on his album because they know that's gonna boost their sales just being on his album. So working with him, so he was able to ascend, and you see now that he's made it to the billionaire ranks because of his ownership stakes. And people are so quick, even whether it's music, even in business now, entrepreneurship, we're so fast to run up under. There's nothing wrong with getting the tutelage from somebody or coming, because he did get the opportunity at Rockefeller.
Right.
But once he established himself, there's nothing that can replace that. People want to get a record deal, they want to get a clothing deal, or they want to get the Insta famous or whatever it is, and they skip over the ownership.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I think that's where people are missing it, that it may be a little longer of a grind, but when you get there, when you get I'll put it like this. E40 and them cats from the West Coast, right? Big shout out to Yuckmouth. He's been on the show a couple times. They could sell out the trunk. Master P and them. You could sell 10% of what, think about it, like you said, Drake can go quadruple platinum, but he ain't getting but 25 cents a record.
Cause look at, not to cut you out, but look at how Drake money is broken down it was broken down like this for the majority of his career. It may be a little different since Young Money split away from Cash Money.
Right.
But look at it. When Drake sells, the money go to Universal.
Right.
Then Universal get the bag, they take theirs, and then Universal gives it to Cash Money.
Right.
Cash Money get the bag, and we already know when Cash Money get the bag,
who knows what happened, right?
Who knows? But then
eventually,
Cash Money is supposed to move it down to Young Money, and then Young Money distributes it to Drake.
Right.
So your money going through 4 people versus when Cameron was signed directly to Koch Records. Cameron may not have sold like a Drake, but if he getting $10, an album or even $8 an album, and he's selling 200,000, he's selling 200,000 right inside of New York.
Mm-hmm.
What's 200,000 times 8? You ain't got the Cameron ain't got to go
too hard.
I mean, even though I love Cameron, big shout out to Cameron, whole Dipset movement. Cameron ain't got to do no crazy. He ain't got to do no crazy numbers in order to pull a whole $1 million from that. You know, and this ain't talking about his touring.
Right.
Cameron got the merch. You know, he got the deal with Reeboks.
Right.
He's acting now. Cameron got a lot going on. But you know, just to keep it into perspective, Cameron has a little more ownership. Or from the last time I checked, he had a little more ownership than Drake, even though Drake is a bigger artist, and Drake is really one of my favorite artists.
Yeah, man, definitely. But you know, just circling back to Kanye. So, what do you think about the $9 billion? Now he's saying he's worth $9 billion. I mean, every time somebody underestimate him, he ends up, you know, showing it. Now we already established Yeezy's worth $4 billion. So where do we get the other 5 from?
Well, Yeezy was worth $4 billion. I think I checked it about a year ago, so it's probably worth more than that right now.
Right.
I didn't check it. With all of his royalties and everything that he got with his acres in Wyoming, he got 300 acres in Calabasas. You know, just with what else he got? He got so many different things.
Right. Then he got the Gap deal. Like, now, can you break that down?
Honestly, I forgot about
See, that's where I think some of that other money, because you got to have stock in Gap. You got to own a nice amount of shares.
So this is what I'm thinking. Gap was on life support before Yeezy came in and scooped them up.
Right.
So I'm thinking that Gap probably because they give out a lot of stock-based compensation with people that's that's working with the company. I know somebody that just now started working with Facebook. And then he got like $18 million in stock-based compensation. And this is one of my Facebook friends. Right. I'm like, man, if you ever need an assistant, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm here. But they give a lot of stock-based compensation out to, you know, people that they want to work with. So that $9 billion may not have been that far off.
Right.
Because if he got the stock-based compensation from the Gap, and then he still got the Yeezy brand. The Yeezys is selling out as soon, because right now Yeezy is on the heels of Jordan.
Right.
When it comes to when they drop and gotta have them, you either got the Jordans or you got the Yeezys.
Right.
That's it. Or or unless you want to go designer, Gucci, Louis Vuitton, and you want to go more higher end fashion, but you either got the Jordan or you got the Yeezy. So depending on how much stock that the Gap gave Kanye, that might not be too far off.
Right. And then we don't know what investments he has and all of that kind of stuff behind the scenes.
Exactly. But I can tell you this: when Kanye attached his name to the Gap brand, Gap jumped up $2 billion.
Right.
On the day that they announced it, today.
So that's ill, man. And see, that's where I'm wanting to go to the next thing of the value of Kanye's vision. And I think this is something that people they really don't even understand until they in it, right? Because people will say, oh, ideas ain't worth nothing, da-da-da-da-da-da. But it seemed like the people who are the visionaries, if you can get people to get behind your vision and you can bring it to fruition, it's no limit on how much money you can make. So, you know, talk about the value, because what I look at even before we got to Yeezy was his style and his vision to be able to do that collab with Louis Vuitton. I think that's when he like broke out of the box, right? And at first people was clowning him. I remember seeing some footage of him with out there with Kim, and we're gonna get to that in a minute too, right? Out there with Kim in Europe, and he was like, you know, schmoozing and moozing with the fashion elite. And people were saying, oh, they clowning him, look how they doing him, yada, yada, yada. But it seemed like Kanye knew what he was doing, because he knew, and this is key, right? He knew that his value in the music industry would only go so far. To break into the fashion industry, and that's why I said you were perfect to talk to about this, he would have to assert himself and plant his flag in fashion to be able to do what he's doing now?
Well, you got to go all the way back to when Kanye West was $50 million in debt.
Right. Okay.
And everybody thought that he was over with. It's a rap. He's washed up. Nobody's listening to his music. Somehow he comes out of the debt. He goes from being worth a negative 50 million to being worth over $4 billion. Right. How do you do that? I want everybody to go back and do this. Go back and listen to the Shea 45 interview when he told Sway he didn't have the answers. Go back and look at the Breakfast Club interview when he was talking about wouldn't nobody let him in. And then they were just like, you got to just create your own and work that. But he's absolutely right. In the fashion industry, you can only get so far without somebody helping you, like, you know, bringing you with them. You go look at the interview that Dapper Dan did with the Breakfast Club, because they was like, why would you partner with Gucci instead of just starting your own thing? And right. Dapper Dan made the point of, okay, let's just say if I was to start my brand, first of all, nobody has a 100% black-owned luxury brand that's worth what Gucci's worth, what Louis Vuitton is worth, and so on. And about time we actually work to get there, we talking 100 to 200 years,
right,
of consistent work to get there,
right?
Because that's how long do you think Gucci been in rotation?
Right.
You know, Gucci got 100 years, probably
right.
a little more than 100 years. Same right. thing for Louis Vuitton. Louis Vuitton started off making travel trunks for mm-hmm. people to put their luggage in. That's why right now, if you got an original Louis Vuitton trunk, name your price for it. Right. That's on eBay going for like $75,000 for right. it, if you got one, depending on the condition.
Right.
So he was right when he said that he wanted to get in and he wanted to partner with somebody, but those doors was getting closed in his face. Now, go back to Nike. No, we're gonna start with Louis Vuitton. Louis Vuitton dropped the ball with Kanye. Go look at the collaboration between Louis Vuitton and Kanye West. Go look at what it's selling for right now. That didn't work out. He went to Nike. I want y'all to do me a favor. Go look at what a pair of the Red Octobers are.
That's right what I'm talking about. Yeah, those Red Octobers.
So you mean to tell me this? Nike partnered up with Kanye, dropped the Red October, sold out. The Red October is $20,000 for a pair of those shoes. $15,000 to $20,000, depending on where you getting them from. You don't believe me? Go check StockX.
Right. That's what I was about
to. So look, why would Nike not want to work with somebody
right
that allowed them to sell a shoe for $20,000? Nike dropped the ball. And if you look at it, Adidas was far up under Nike.
Right.
So when that ended, Kanye West said, okay, you know, well, I done showed y'all what I can do. We dropped the Red October, they flew off the shelves.
Right.
Anything I attach my name to, y'all see what it's doing. Now let me be creative. I can design. You don't just gotta slap my name or something and then you design it and we put it out there. Let me be creative. Nike said no. Adidas said, come on over here. Whatever you want to do, come on over here. Adidas, and if I'm not mistaken, Red Octobers, what's that price?
It say 14,000. Yep. That's the lowest bid is 14,150, and then for size 9 is 14,870. So it's right under 15,000.
Exactly, and that means that it probably done came down a little bit.
Yeah, I mean after this interview, it might go back up.
So with Adidas told Kanye, "Come on over here. Whatever you need, we gonna give you what you need." And Kanye came over there, and he was like, "Man, I got this vision." He was excited. I got this vision for this shoe. We can design it called the Yeezy. It'll be a collaboration. Let's work together.
Right.
Adidas said, "Let's do it." Kanye West got his own store. Go back and listen to the song Facts off of The Life of Pablo. In that
Right.
song, he said, we made $1 million a minute. We made $1 million a minute.
Right.
That was Facts. That's why that song is called Facts. He said we made $1 million a minute. And
right.
so when he said the Yeezy just jumped over Jumpman, he said that, okay, the Yeezy is worth more than Jumpman. Right. I know that y'all may not see it right now, but I do. Fast forward, I ain't seen nobody in a pair of OVO Jumpmans trying to get them. Not saying that they not a dope shoe.
Right.
I'm just saying that right now, if anybody had the choice between an OVO Jumpman and a pair of Yeezys, they going with Yeezys. It's not even close.
Right. Right. No, you're right. Because if we're looking at it, and I just want to show people, because just using this as an example that, you know, I have a new show that's coming out. We definitely going to want you on that too, called Crypto and Kicks, right? And we're trying to show people that investments can be more than just stock. Like, people don't understand that had you bought one of those pairs of one of those real collectors who jumped on them Red Octobers, even if you didn't get them out the store and you got that first resale where it wasn't super crazy, you might have paid a stack for them, $1,500 for them, and your girl looking at you like you're crazy. And ladies, I know y'all can invest too, but it's just more of a guy thing with the sneakerheads, right? So when you think about it, that person who kept them sneakers knowing that one day, or understood sneaker culture to say this is special, this is going to be an investment, they probably 15x on their investment right now. And then if you get some of the larger sizes, it can go like the South Beaches. I always look for the LeBron South Beach joints because, you know, anything 13, whatever like that, you could be paying twice as much as somebody wears size 9. So for people who don't understand how Kanye is doing what MJ did as far as transcending, like Jay did, he transcended just music.
Let me add something to that. Kanye got a better deal than what Michael Jordan got with his Jordan.
Exactly. And that's important for people to understand. Like, when Michael Jordan, he was endorsing the shoe, it was years later till he got to do his Jordan brand through Nike. But Kanye, like you said, from what I saw in earlier interviews, he was saying Nike wouldn't give him control. They would basically, they wanted to just put out the shoe like they used to doing business, which I don't understand they couldn't see from what they did with Michael Jordan. But I guess, think about it, if you made billions of dollars with Jordan, you ain't Michael Jordan, not realizing his value in the culture. And I would throw this in, it's international.
No, Kanye is definitely the Michael Jordan of this era.
Right.
And I'm talking about overall. So let's go back to when we was talking about in the interview, they asked Kanye, would he entertain a versus?
Right.
He said, yeah. He said, but what sector? Are we doing best producer? Are we doing best rapper? Are we doing best rapper and producer? Are we doing best rapper and producer and businessman? Are we doing best producer and businessman? So what category are we feeling? So Kanye is the Michael Jordan. There's nobody that's doing what Kanye is doing right now. Not one MC. The closest that I know of is Rick Ross.
Right. And
big shout out to Rick. And Rick Ross just bought his son a Wingstop for his birthday. Right. Now that's boss talk right there. That's boss talk.
Right.
So guess what? His son ain't got to ask him for no money for the rest of his life.
Exactly. And see, I wanted to tap in on that. Now, when you were talking about Forbes, and he's been beefing with Forbes for years, and Jay has even thrown shots at Forbes. Do you think there's an agenda to downplay Kanye's success? Number one, because if he is really given the crown as the richest person to ever come out of hip hop, that's bigger than Dre, bigger than Diddy, bigger than Hove, bigger than all of them, that could now spawn other people, like you said, like a Ross, who's in position. Certain rappers had their money right where they're in position to jump into these other spaces, and then everybody else behind them, they're going to follow the wave. So, you know, I personally, and I'm pretty sure you've dealt with this in your career as well, you can be better than people at whatever you do, and people don't want to acknowledge it. They just won't. You know, there's because you have the industry, then you have the media, and a lot of times they bedfellows. But it seems like the more you, and it's just speaking as a Gemini, when you try to deny someone's like something they earned, it's not just me thinking, oh, I'm the illest. No, look at the stat sheet. If I'm number one on the stats, if that's what I thought we was playing about, you know what I mean? When you come in the game, no, you gotta get your numbers up, you gotta get this. Then when you got the numbers, oh, but you know what I mean? You gotta wait your turn. Wait, what turn? The numbers I done passed, I done lapped everybody 10 times. So do you think there's an agenda? Because I think for some reason, which no disrespect to Hove, we love Hove, right? It seemed like all it would take is one tweet to say salute to my homie Kanye, he the richest cat in rap. What's the harm in that? You know what I'm saying? I don't have to be the richest to still be who I am. And then I got Beyonce, so we the illest power couple there is. So what do you think about that? Because I think that's what's fueling his fire. And if the people who knew anything, the people who are quote unquote the ops or whoever's the haters, if they realized all they had to do was just give him his credit, he probably relax and not even go 10 times as hard as he's going to go when you keep ignoring that this man is doing what nobody has ever done.
So now platforms like Forbes and other platforms are going to start to lose credibility.
Exactly.
They're going to start losing credibility, and they can only keep this up for so long.
Right.
Because if Forbes say that Kanye West isn't a billionaire, and you can go and Google says that the Yeezy brand is worth $5 billion and Kanye owns 100%, right, somebody's lying.
Right.
And it probably ain't Google, which has a market cap of $1.9 trillion.
Right.
It probably isn't Google. Google don't have nothing to gain. Google has nothing to gain by trying to disagree with Forbes.
Right.
So now everybody's looking at Forbes. And if you look at it, I think that everything is set up perfectly for Kanye. Because a lot of us don't go the hardest until we see people not believing in us, people counting us out. You don't think I can do it. Now that's gonna make me go harder to prove you wrong.
Right. Yeah, it's crazy. And I think, and that's what people don't understand. Like I'm looking at something, I don't want to share it because it got a lot of ads all over, Forbes website that's killed you with the ads. But they trying, oh, he's 1.8 billion. I'm like, bro, they don't want to give this man credit for nothing.
They still short.
But see, look, it says, oh, his net worth is now, okay, he's 1.8 billion, but they say Yeezy made 1.7 billion in sales in 2021 alone. So if you had 1.7 billion in sales for 1 year and your net worth, even according to them, matches that, that's 3-point-something billion right there. So he almost, come on.
You're right. And that's even if you take out some of those profits to allocate them to the Adidas, because they,
right,
Yeezy has a partnership,
right,
with Adidas. Even if you allocated that, we're talking about $1.7 billion in 1 year.
Right.
So how is it that this man can have a company that makes $1.7 billion in the last year, but you only quote him at 1.8? That's the 6,000 acres in Wyoming. That's good music. That's all the royalties from his album.
All the publishing.
All the royalties from Mos Def, from Common. All the royalties from Cameron, everybody in Dipset. That's the 300 acres in Calabasas. That's the $60 million mansion that he just bought. Not including the cars. I mean, we didn't even go count the cars and what he's driving. He running around here in some type of some stuff that somebody built just for him. He's the only person with them little cars.
And what I was going to say is, because he's an inventor, like the slides they came out. Now I'm gonna keep it real. That design, the foam design, is not my, favorite design of all time. But I'm pretty sure he has patents on his designs. So think about it. He could have, and that's why I wanted to kind of get into the conversation of, he mentioned several times in the interview, somebody's trying to kill me. Oh, they're going to kill me after this interview. They got to kill me now. Number one, do you think he's being paranoid? And then number two, who could he be talking about? Like, you know what I mean? What do you think about that?
Absolutely not. He's not paranoid. Kanye is a black revolutionary. Look at what he's doing. You heard the podcast? He's saying buy land, buy real estate. You wanna they don't want you to know the business side of the record label. They want to keep you right here. They want to cut you a check, and once you get the check, you go on to leave and have a subpar career, and they get paid for the rest of their life off of hits that you made. That's what they send their kids to school off of.
Right.
So anytime you got somebody that's, giving out this type of information, why do you think they killed Martin Luther King? Why'd they kill Martin Luther King?
Let's talk about it. I mean, I think it was from the when he did the sanitation strike, because he was talking about labor and stuff like that.
They killed Martin Luther King. It's a video floating around where he was talking about when whites come over here from Europe, they give them land, resources, they give them everything that's needed to till. He named off a bunch of stuff. I don't even want to misquote the GOAT, but he named off a bunch of stuff. And then he said, when we go to Washington, we're coming to get our check. They killed him. So because you can do all of that marching, why you think they was talking about putting Harriet Tubman on a $20 bill?
And we still ain't seen it yet.
And we ain't seen a dollar from reparations, 40 acres and a mule.
Now look, we could time out for 1 second on Kanye to talk about the new bill that's on the floor right now, talking about giving people from outside the country, I'll put it like that, 450 racks a piece, and we still ain't get nothing. So, I post certain things, but I try to leave certain things, but sometimes you got to say something. For us financially as a community, first of all, do people really know what that means, or can you break down what that is if you've heard anything about it?
So from the little bit that I've read about it, when you come over right now, when you come over from another country, you already don't pay taxes. It's like it's already something to set up for when they get here, and they give you money to start businesses. They give other people that's outside of the country, when they come to the country, they give them money to start businesses. They give them money to buy houses. They give them money to help get them started in the United States. But the people that's here, we're basically hit. Now, I've been saying this because everybody was mad at Trump, talking, everybody like, I don't like the president. He's horrible. He's doing this. But I can tell you one thing that Trump was doing, regardless of how you feel about it. I'm giving you facts. Facts.
Listen, you don't hear nothing out of my mouth. I'm letting you talk. Go ahead.
Trump was keeping the money in the United States first. You don't believe me? That bill that Biden got printed up, go look at it. Now, see, we don't really get deep into bills and stuff. I get it. But if you say that Trump is horrible, and then you see Biden got 500 million going to Israel, 500 million going to Israel. We got another 15 billion going to Thailand. And I don't even know if they're going, but this is the way those funds are allocated. If he got a $3.5 trillion bill, the United States may see 1 trillion of it. 2.5 trillion of that is going overseas to different organizations, to different people, and all of that stuff. But if you look at when Trump said he was printing up a bill, he said, we're doing for America first. That money's staying here. And then if we got anything else left over, we'll entertain, aid in Israel, or, for our troops to stay in, Pakistan or Afghanistan. Trump started pulling troops out. He said, we gonna get the hell away from there. Come on back to the United States. Come on back with your family, and we gonna deal with the issues that we have here. But he did a lot of things that people didn't like. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was entertaining.
Man, I said this long time ago. I said Trump is the 50 Cent of politics. And also, I said, when somebody going too hard to turn you against somebody, it's something they don't want you to know. And we can leave it at that. Think about it, because that pivots to the next Kanye point. when he kind of put John Legend on blast, which anybody that's really from around the way could see. You got people who they call spokespersons, right, in the PR world, but in reality, they're just puppets. And we did this last election. They had everybody running around, scaring everybody. I said this on Twitter the other day. I said, the Democrats in the media use Trump name like Candyman, right? I said, all they got to do is say Trump, 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 Trump. And it's supposed to scare up the black vote, scare up the women vote, scare up everybody to vote. And now we voted, and what is we get? And God forbid you say anything about it because, this, I can't speak on that, that. We got so much loyalty to somebody who hasn't shown proof. And that's what I think our value is being dismissed. And we better pay attention as a community because there's other groups that outnumber us right now who will participate and vote because they see their community benefiting from it. Right?
I will say this.
Wait. Let me just pose a question in relation to Kanye because I'm just trying to keep it on focus. We can get into that. We got a whole year to next November. Yeah. So when he came out for Trump, it seems like that's when a lot of the backlash and a lot of that, just the community, the industry, all turning against him publicly. And he stated that. He like, I changed your life, fam. I put you on. I know your mama. I helped you get your house for your mama. Even if you ain't feeling what I'm doing, you got my contact. I don't know about man. You may want to bust a left right there or whatever, but I ain't going to say, if they ask me something, hey, man, he's his own man. He can speak. There's a way to handle it. So what do you think? Do you think that was the start of it? And, could that have a lot to do with what's going on now?
Was the start of what?
When he embraced Trump, when Kanye embraced Trump.
Yeah, I just think that Kanye has always been this is the thing. Go all the way back. He got on national TV. They was like, all right, we're going to go ahead and, try to get some help for these, because remember when that big thing in New Orleans happened? And then they had prepped, and then they went live, and then the dude that talked, and then Kanye just blurted out, said, George Bush doesn't care about black people. Kanye has always been Kanye. Now he's Kanye with money.
But I'm gonna tell you where I think this came from too. Before even the Trump move, if we rewind the tape, Obama said that he called Kanye a jackass after the Taylor Swift move, right? Which is interesting because Kanye's from Chicago. Obama claimed Chicago after he came out of Hawaii, right? But I'm gonna show you how. I don't know your sign and all that. We ain't gotta get into all of that. But I'm a Gemini, and I'm gonna show you how he think. Okay, I'm a jackass, all this, all that, right? As soon as he come out of office, he embraced somebody that's the opposite and say, you know what? He's showing me love. So I'm gonna get on the biggest platform in the world. The whole world had them pictures of Kanye, and that's when even if people was mad about it, they saw the potential of the influence. You see what I'm saying? I'm talking about the powers that be on the blue side. They like, wait a minute. We thought we had the whole industry on our payroll. We control them. We had all the puppets. We had all the puppet strings. If he run over there and get any type of traction, that could slow us down. So when Obama dissed him, once again, he like, and Trump showed him love. He like, wait a minute. I'm running over here. And so I think the psychology of his personality is I'm super talented. He seems like a good dude. Like I said, I met him one time. We had a conversation. We was kicking it, but he was with a female. I ain't gonna put a business out there. So he was on his, keeping it moving. But he seemed like a genuine person. And you can see when he talked about Dame, and we'll get into that before we get out of here. But when he talked about Dame and how his loyalty to Dame. So when you have a person that's that talented and that much vision, and you shun him, that turns the engine on. So his whole goal now is to show you, you was wrong. You see what I'm saying? I think that's what's driving him to maybe speak some type of stuff sometime that if he watched the tape, he'd be like, I ain't had to go that far. But we wouldn't get all this greatness if it wasn't for people trying to deny his greatness. That's just what I think.
That's a good point right there. I just think that Kanye is just doing his own thing. These are his own thoughts. These are his own opinions. These are his own emotions. I don't think Kanye can be bought. There's a lot of people in the industry that can be bought and that are bought.
Right.
Kanye can't be bought. And especially if there's no amount of money that you can now offer him to buy him.
Right.
You can't buy him. You couldn't, even if you had the money to buy Kanye, you're not buying Kanye. And then you got to look at, I'm telling you, like the wave that he's on, I put Kanye next to Malcolm, Martin Luther King, the Black Panthers, Marcus Garvey,
Tupac. Yeah.
Tupac.
With the
Kanye
influence.
is a revolutionary because there hasn't been nobody with a Kanye platform that's saying, hey, you need to invest because whoever controls the money controls your life. We don't buy stocks. We don't buy bonds. We don't buy real estate. I just bought 6,000 acres in Wyoming. So now this is going to get down to the hustlers in the street that didn't graduate high school and they feel that ain't got nothing up here when they say, you know what, Kanye West got a deal with Gap. And he said, I can invest in Gap. So I'm going to take this 10 bands that I just made from this play and I'm going to drop it in Gap.
Right.
And he ain't going to miss it.
Right.
And he ain't going to miss it just because you know how I move in the street.
Mm-hmm. So now
I think once he reaches those type of people, the world is in trouble because in order for the people to stay at the top, there has to be some people at the bottom.
And see, that's the thing. That you got people that's at the top that this wouldn't even threaten them. And they still don't want to see people even move up 2 steps up the ladder because what they don't even understand that if you don't get your mindset right, and it's some of the things you talk about in the wealth factor, if you don't got your mindset right, all we doing is giving you more money you're going to spend back. Anyway, maybe a handful of y'all may reinvest it and get land and establish something. But the 95% of the people that get, let's say they gave every black person in America $1 million, it's going to be gone in less than 6 months for 95% of these people. So I wanted to touch on this though before we get out of here. Do you think if there was a plot, let's put it this hypothetically, if there was a plot to get him out of here, I think you got to look at the Kardashians. Maybe not his wife per se, but the mama is ill. And I always, saluted the moms for seeing that, hey, y'all painted my daughter in this light, but I'm going to change that perception. And we turned this into a $1 billion machine. So I couldn't control what she did. But when nor do I think she condoned what she did. That's her daughter. But she took it and saw that, hey, we can control this narrative. And then we started a snowball effect that turned into a $1 billion machine. So before we get out of here, do you think there could be, because I'm like, if they still legally married and he's worth all these billions, now I'm pretty sure they had some type of prenup. He can't be Mr. We want prenup and then don't have a prenup. Kanye, please don't tell us. Don't tell the bros you ain't had that paperwork. But even with that, I think, he may be like, look, we can stay legally married, so I keep my billionaire. I don't know. What you think?
If they should stay together or continue with the breakup?
No, do you think it could be a plot from that side to let him seem crazy, and then all of a sudden he overdosed the Prince story, the Michael Jackson? It seemed like they just writing the script, letting the script play out.
Listen, you probably gonna lose some followers for what I'm about to say.
Hey man, I gained some real ones, so I ain't worried.
Kanye West will be bigger than Michael Jackson. I'm not talking about just in that one lane. I'm not saying the biggest artist as far as Michael. I'm talking overall. Impact. Ownership, land, wealth, just having so many different seeds planted. And nothing against Michael Jackson. Because when he owed Sony that money, he owned Elvis Presley and he owned the Beatles.
Right.
You feel me? So Mike definitely did his thing, but Mike, I feel like Sony killed Mike. I mean, they probably.
That's what I'm saying. Like
they probably go flag your channel for this.
But listen,
I feel like Sony killed Mike. I could be wrong, but Mike never
allegedly,
got
let's say allegedly,
off his back totally.
Right.
But Kanye right now with the Yeezy brand and everything that he's doing and the land that he's buying, he's going to surpass Michael Jackson overall. And I'm not talking about just in record sales or in one lane. I'm talking about overall.
Right. Now, I was thinking about that. It's ill that you talked about the Yeezy brand, because could Adidas be in on it and say, yeah, we got this partnership. We get him out of here, allegedly, hypothetically. Now we got everything, and whoever's in his estate is mostly his children. His mom's is gone. You feel me? They're not going to be in position to run the brand with his vision the way that he would. You can make that argument. It could be a lot of other people in business who, like you said, they don't want to see him surpass the point where he's bigger than them, where he's bigger than CNN. Right now, he got more value. But if, let's say, he was to create his own platform and say, you know what,
CNN is owned by AT&T.
Right.
AT&T is trying to sell CNN. They need to, because AT&T is in way too much debt.
Right. And nobody's watching. See, that's the thing. That's the thing that people don't understand. Before we get out of here, and I'm going to give you a chance to shout out your platform and everything, your program, but this is the beginning, I would say, of the future, right? We now at the real, like your man Cat Williams say, on the cusp of the future.
Right.
Because what used to matter yesterday is not going to matter tomorrow.
Yesterday's price
is not today's price. And yesterday's influences is not today's influences.
Facts.
And y'all need to wake up and pay attention. So, like I said, put your in the comments, everybody who's going to see this, what your theories is. We'll probably follow up on this. And you definitely see more Willie Diamond up here. So let the people know where they can reach you and why they need to get down with the Wealth Factor.
So you can reach me at King Willie with 2 E's on Instagram, the Wealth Factor 1 on Instagram, the Wealth Factor YouTube channel, Willie Dynamite on Facebook, King Willie on Facebook, Viverette Ties on Facebook, the Wealth Factor on Facebook. And the Wealth Factor is a program where I teach everybody to invest. So you know how like Kanye was speaking on, we need to have ownership. Well, I just got tired of arguing with people on Facebook, telling them they need to invest. And somebody said, well, why don't you just create something for every, and stop talking about it. So I was like, fine. So now that I got the Wealth Factor, man, I got like, I'm probably like 100 and some students in.
That's
right
dope.
now.
That's
dope. Where I just teach everybody at the same time. Like in the chat in the Wealth Factor, 3 months ago, Tesla got down to a low of $525. It hit a $525 low. What was it? It was 3 months ago. And I said, if you ever wanted to invest in a Tesla, right now is the time, this week.
Mm-hmm.
Take whatever you got in the bank, whatever money that you got in the bank, take it out, drop it in Tesla. Some people did, some people didn't. 3 months later, Tesla's trading at $1,200 a share.
Right.
I can only lead them to the water, but I help to keep everybody in the loop. Just like PayPal was in the talks of buying Pinterest. Pinterest was reporting at a loss up until this quarter. Pinterest went from I think it's a $98 million loss, reporting a $98 million loss, to now filing a $98 million profit.
Right.
So not only did they come out of the hole, they also
doubled up. Right. They came in.
9 times out of 10, people Pinterest is turning people down to buy them. You know, and that would be perfect for PayPal, because what the government won't let you do, they won't let you buy a whole bunch of different companies alike. I don't know how Facebook got away with Instagram at the time. But right now, if Facebook wanted to buy Twitter and Snapchat,
right,
the government will say, nah, y'all, because y'all gonna be a monopoly if y'all do that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all own every social media site, the number 1, number 2, the number 4, and the number 5. Nah, y'all got a monopoly. So if Facebook was to buy Square, they could get that purchase. Right. If Facebook was to buy Macy's, they could get that purchase. Right. But they won't be able to buy another social media account because they'll be running into what Bill Gates ran into years ago with creating a monopoly. But anyway, I teach people how to invest, what to invest in. We cover stocks, we cover real estate, we cover stock options. I got stock options going right now. We cover investing in the gold, investing in the silver, how to profit from the economy, you know, when hardship comes. Y'all go back on my lives. Look at any live in March of 2020, and then look at what I'm saying, and look at the stock prices then, and look at the same stocks that I was talking about then, look at the prices now. So I put everybody in the chat. We do that. We do a Zoom call once a week, and I just keep everybody in the loop. Because the only people that we can depend on is us. That's
exactly.
It. Nobody's
exactly,
going to
man. I salute that, man. And like I said, appreciate your time. You know what I'm saying? Prayers up, you know, for you and your family. I know it's a lot going on. And Kanye, man, we salute him. He's a visionary pioneer. We just hope we make it safe through the holidays into next year and beyond. And like I said, for anybody who want to tap in with us, man, it's Boss Talk Nation. We also got the radio show Thursday nights, Coach J's Countdown. I'm playing the hottest joints in the city. And we're going to start putting other countdowns inside the countdown because y'all need to get the information like Will said, man. But we're going to
get what? We might have to we might have to add like a you know, the best stock player of the week or something like
that. That's what I'm saying. We're gonna get the countdown inside the countdown. Trust me.
So I'm gonna tell y'all this. If y'all want to see the best stock play of the week, I want y'all to leave it in the chat, whatever platform you're watching this on. Leave it in the chat, and if we get enough comments on it, then we gonna do it.
That's what it is. That's what it is. So I appreciate you, man. It's your boy Coach J with the play. Willie Dynamite in the building, and it's another Boss Talk production. Y'all need to tap in with us, man. We'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.